Oh,
Wow.
yay. Okay. So we're talking about developing expertise and confidence to really share this effectively and powerfully. What do you perceive has been hindering you or limiting you from sharing this in the most powerful, effective, compelling, inspiring way?
Why is the volume so low?
All right, let me see. Let me see. Whoever's not muted, please mute. And I want you guys, if you will, let me see. There we go. If you will, actually reflect for a minute on the last several times you shared. So I'm going to ask a couple more questions real quickly to go into this. Does anybody here feel that you are always expressing and sharing the miracle that's in your hands as effectively and powerfully as you could be? Does anybody feel that way? You're always on, you're always doing it as effectively and powerfully as you could be. All right, I don't see any hands on that one, and I don't see any emphatic nodding or anything. Okay. So, do you feel that you personally, forget changing anything else, do you feel, and I want to really get 100% presence and 100% clarity with you on this question, seriously. Do you feel, all other things aside, Facebook aside, product aside, company aside, do you believe that you have something amazing in your hands, and that if you were to really step up your clarity, your power, your compelling, competent feelings in sharing this passionately, that would make the difference or a really big difference in your success with the business? I want to really tune you into how powerful that actually can be for you. Because if you're not there, then this will just skim off your awareness like a rock. It'll look nice flying past, and we'll all have fun for a few minutes, but I want to help you make a change here. Okay. Lots of yeses. Okay. I'm going to make a guess then. Being that I just got all those yeses, I'm going to make a guess that nobody here has found 100% clarity on exactly how to develop that confidence and competence and expertise and certainty and clarity to feel like, you know what? I can go to anybody today. I can share this with absolute certainty in a very compelling way, to where if they end up not saying yes to me, I'll know beyond the shadow of a doubt it's just not time for them. And you don't leave feeling any yuck. Okay, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? If literally every time you brought this up to anybody, you felt so clear and so confident and so certain and so competent that you knew you did awesome. You totally did awesome. Yeah. Oh, see, now I'm getting the exclamation marks behind the yeses. So I am on the right track here. Yay. All right. So first of all, what is an expert? If you felt like an expert, if you felt like a GMO expert, if you felt like an organic and beyond organic expert, if you felt like a business expert, if you felt like a Purium expert, if you felt like a communication expert, would you feel different picking up the phone or going on a Facebook Live or writing a post or talking to the person in the grocery store line? Okay, almost 100% yeses here. Well, I want to hereby confirm upon you the title of expert. Done. Everybody have a great day. I'm just kidding. But I'm not kidding. What is an expert? Anybody know an expert, what an expert is? Because, oh boy, do we bow to experts. You know, as kids, we were taught, well, the person who walks in the white lab coat, we just listen to whatever they say and we do it. And if they have a collar on, you know, or a robe, or a specific hat on their head. We just bow to their expertise on that topic, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, yes? Yeah? Yeah, I'm checking in now. I'm really checking. Okay, yes. This is important, you guys. This can make the difference. We were taught to bow to experts. Now, nobody told us that there's actually no such thing as an expert. An expert is someone who has a little bit more knowledge than the next person. The dictionary definition, not that it matters, is having or involving authoritative knowledge. That's all an expert is. You are an expert at a lot of things, whether you know it or not. You were taught, like everybody else, bow to the people who have expert status. Doctors, priests, pastors, principals, anyone. But someone in uniform, stop and listen to them. They're right. Some interesting comments coming in. Okay. I have trained a lot of salespeople in my day. And I want to tell you something, okay? I ain't bragging, but I don't mind bragging, as you guys might recall from earlier sessions. It ain't bragging if you can do it. I've generated $161 million, well, about 162 now, actually, in my life. And I've done now over 12 million in sales myself. And I'm going to tell you the easiest, straightest way to be an absolute expert salesperson. Now, does anybody here have a problem with the fact that we're doing sales? Does anybody have any issue here? You guys everybody understands we are doing sales, right? We okay with that? Everybody's okay? Ooh, sales. All right. The sales are sacred. I love it. Totally agreed. I see sales as using your expertise, knowledge, skill, communication, and experience to assist someone to have an opportunity to act in their own best interest. And that also includes giving them the space and the grace to not act in their own best interest without taking it personally. And I kind of joke about sales training, that sales training is what you do when you don't know what you're doing. Because in a way, we don't really need sales training. We just need to be reminded that we have the cookie and they want it. And if we just explain the cookie, they'll say yes or no. A big part of this is us feeling like, well, let me ask a question here. I'm going to ask for 100% response on this one. Do you feel or do you know that your fear of getting a no is one of the factors that's keeping you, or that you're letting keep you, from sharing this on the level that you could? Let's be completely honest. Is your feeling that you might get a no, you might get rejected, you might be told no, is that an aspect of you not sharing this on the level that you could? Because almost everybody said that they could be sharing this more powerfully. Look at this. Yes, 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 yes. Totally is. In the way. Absolutely. Yes, for sure. Sometimes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Thank you for honesty. So here's what that means, guys and gals. That means that if you didn't give a flippity French fry, whether they say yes or no, you'd be sharing this more powerfully, more compellingly, and more consistently, right? Wouldn't you? Let's do 100% response again. The more you actually take the effort to either nod or say yes, raise your hand or type, the more you're going to get out of this. If you didn't care whether you got a yes or no, if you didn't fear being rejected with a no, you would be sharing a lot more. All right, everybody take a deep breath and let this in. You can't get yeses. You can't get yeses unless you risk the no. I know that's very deep and complex. I'll say it again slower in a few minutes. You can't get the yeses unless you risk the no's. And what if the no's had nothing to do with you? How would you feel if you knew the no had nothing to do with you? You would share more emphatically, more consistently, probably more expertly. Just skimming over the comments for a minute. Fear of intruding on other space, okay? That is where making sure that you have the wisdom to get yourself invited before you really share comes in, okay? Which is, it's related, it's just a slightly different topic. Okay. Okay, my honey just said, I said, no, get the heck away from me with your MLM thing for months before I said, oh, that was Sarah typing in on Davy's computer, okay? I said no for 2 years. Everybody I knew on the island that was talking to me about Purium, I was like, man, you know, it sounds amazing. I'm focused on my own business. I'm not going to look. Thank you. I wasn't angry. I wasn't rejecting them. I was saying, not now. And here I am. Fear of being judged and shunned. That's right. So the fear of rejection is the thing. Fear of rejection is really at the root of this, although a lot of us are also dealing with fear of success, which is a different topic that we can talk about. Okay? And they're both actually just fear. So working with tens of thousands of people the way I do, like that's really where I focus. And we may get into a little bit of that, you know, we may get into a little bit of helping with the fear on this call. Right now, I really want to focus on the expertise. So here's the deal. I could go into an industry, and I did it many, many, many times. Everybody breathe and be 100% present and get this. I don't know about you, but I'm just saying, like, if I had somebody that's done 12 million in sales helping me with sales, I wouldn't be hearing anything but that. You know what I mean? I would be listening. And I sell in a way that's totally and completely effortless and stress-free for me and the people I'm talking to. I make it just effortless. So here's the thing. I could go into an industry where I knew absolutely nothing, literally nothing. I'd pick up a couple trade publications on the industry. I might interview a couple people, and then I could start selling in that industry and outsell anybody in the industry. Now, how do you do that? I could also go in and train salespeople that didn't know anything about the industry, and they would become record breakers. How do you do that? Here's how you do it. There's 3 areas where you gotta develop knowledge in order to rock out any opportunity. And I see that this is an area where we as a team, we as individuals, and we as a company can enhance a little bit. The first area of knowledge is actually looking at the industry itself. So I'm going to list the 3. Those of you that are taking notes, I gotta say this. Infinite respect. Some people teach to take notes when you're in seminars and in events. I advise against it emphatically, because if you're writing down what the person said last, you ain't hearing what they're saying now. It is always worth, when something's worth learning, it's worth watching the replay and taking notes. Contemplate that. I believe the advice that we all got as kids and teens and in our 20s, those of us who dared anything having to do with university, we were all drilled. Take notes, take notes, take notes, take notes. I don't think there's any dumber advice on the planet, because you cannot be present to what's being said if you're taking notes of what was just said. And you want to get this inside. other than writing one more thing on top of your head. Okay. So the three areas where you really want to develop expertise, first of all, is in the industry or in the field itself. Now, I'm going to narrow these down after I go through. The second one is with the competition. Now, we know there's no such thing as competition, right? However, in the business sense, what are other companies in that space offering and why? And then the third area where you want to develop expertise and knowledge is what are our areas of unique, standout offering. Now, here's the irony of this. All you got to do is develop any speck of knowledge in any one of those three areas, and you just increased your expert status. Because what's expert status? It's authoritative knowledge. That's all it is a little bit of knowledge. So you can take what I'm sharing with you today and literally be 5, 10, 20, 50 times the expert that you are in the next 24 hours if you simply dive into these three areas that I'm pointing at. Now, I want to check in before I go any further. Is this being beneficial to anybody? You can either comment or raise hand, or I want to make sure that I'm connecting, and I absolutely want to answer questions as we go. Just making totally sure. Don't worry about my ego. Is this connecting and helping? Okay, awesome. Awesome, good. So those three areas. First of all, the industry or the field that we're playing in. We want to know a little bit about, why does this field even exist? Why do people have widgets? Okay, we're going to narrow in on Purium in just a moment. But this field that we're playing in, what is it? Why is there any company, or why are there companies in this space in the first place? Presence, everybody. Second, what are other people offering for solutions? What are the other companies doing and saying and offering as the solutions to what this industry is about? Third and final, what do we/I have to offer that's exclusive or superior or unique that I can explain and offer to people? Would it make sense that the more knowledgeable you are about any of those three things, the more confident you're going to feel speaking about it? Does that make sense? And am I being too basic here, or is this actually contributing something? Okay. It's basic, but the irony is that almost nobody really talks about this in any industry. It's kind of implicit information. I find that when you make it explicit and you really dive into it, you can leap to new levels of competence and confidence and clarity and certainty in what you're doing. Ooh, I just got a feeling about something. You know what? I didn't set an intention with you guys at the very beginning, but I'm going to set it right now. All right. Anybody that wants to join me in this. Feel for a minute competence. Just bring that word in and feel the word competence. Competence. You can even breathe the word in if you want and feel it. Competence. Competence. Available to me right now. Competence. Clarity. Available to me right now. Clarity. I'm just breathing in clarity and stirring it up with my competence. Yum, 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 yum. Certainty. Expanding my certainty right now. Competence, clarity, certainty. Mixing together in this giant swirl of confidence. Competence, clarity, and certainty. So pulling in this information and developing my competence and my certainty, which enhances and gives me even more clarity. And now I'm coming from this place of confidence. I'm going to share what I have with people that are interested by inviting them. Would you be interested in? Are you interested in? Would you like to know? Oh, would you like to know more? Once we have that established, then you don't have to worry about intruding on anybody's space, which was a concern. And when you know that you're confident and you're clear and you're certain, you can be compelling. You can be compelling to those that are interested. Now, we know there's people interested in the cookie we have. Yes, there's people that want this cookie right now. Ooh, I just wish Sylvia would come along and tell me about that cookie she has. They're wanting it today. There's people concerned today. There's somebody who read another article about GMOs today. But a confused mind says no. Period. A confused mind says no. So if we're confused, in other words, not clear, certain, confident, etc., if we're confused, we're going to go, no, ain't talking to anybody today, maybe tomorrow. I'll start my business over tomorrow. Today's been a tough one, and it's already 8:15 a.m. I think I'm done sharing Purium for the day. This was tough. And the person who's listening to you, when you spew out at them 3 unrelated facts, and they go, what? I did what? They're not going to say yes. But if you're confident, you're going to be convincing. When 2 people come together to discuss anything, the person who is most certain is going to be the most compelling, and they're going to influence the other person, period. Now, the person you're talking to might be completely full of it on this topic and not know much of nothing, but they're sure about it. And you go to them unsure. Well, I think, what did Sarah say about, oh, crap, messed that one up too. I'm gonna add something to you. I'm gonna agree with what Angela just said. Be the highest vibration in the room. Yes, and you could go into a room being the highest. I'm not disputing. I'm just adding something to it. You can go into the room unbelievably enthusiastic, with no knowledge and no clarity and no certainty and no confidence, and let's say, "Wow, was that a tornado?" Rather than actually making a difference, you just blow wind through the room as you go through. So competence, confidence, certainty, clarity. All right, now with that out of the way, look at these 3 areas again. The industry itself. What is this about? What is this industry? Why does it exist? What are the problems or the opportunities or the things that are calling for companies and people to come in with solutions in the first place? You develop a little bit of expertise. In other words, let's don't make it complicated. Knowledge, a little bit of stuff. You know, a little bit of stuff about the industry. You're going to be more clear and compelling and certain, aren't you? Going to get an amen somewhere. Okay, yeah, you are. If you develop a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of information, a little bit of competence about what other companies in the space are offering, you're going to be, oh, I will. So David just said, or Sarah, somebody just said, drop some industry knowledge on us. I will do that in just a moment. First, I want to, so this is a really kind of, it's an accumulative way of looking at this that's really going to help. By me touching each of these 3 or 4 times and then stacking each time, you'll get more than if I was to focus on one and then the other and then the other. Industry first. Second, solutions, companies, products. What are people offering to meet the needs and the opportunities and the problems and the challenges that the industry represents in the first place? And then third, what's unique and powerful and awesome and special and superior? What do we have that nobody else has? I want to check in again. Is this making sense? Like, is this starting to click? Is it like, oh, it's, I know it's duh, but I'm telling you, common knowledge is not common practice. And to know and not do is to not know. Awesome. Okay. Thanks for the feedback, everybody. So let's look at the industry for a minute. Let's look at the automobile industry for just 1 minute. Okay, so here is the car industry, the auto. Let's make it the vehicle industry. Vehicle industry. Here's the vehicle industry over here. And people are walking, and it takes a long time to get from Hawaii to Chicago walking. I don't even think you can do it, actually. So there's this vehicle industry out there that makes solutions so that people can get from point A to point B more faster. Make sense? I know I'm being basic. I'm going to stay basic. Now, you might want a pickup truck, because what you want to do is not just move your butt from here to there. You want to actually move some stuff with your butt from here to there. So you buy a pickup truck that lets you move. A motorcycle is not going to meet your needs for that thing that you have. So you go to the industry. Oh, here's this industry that makes vehicles, scooters and mopeds and bikes and skateboards, surfboards, trucks, cars, vans, RVs, helicopters. How cool is that? Now move over to the second category. What are the competitors? What are the solutions? Well, let's narrow it down to cars. Oh, look, there's Ford, GM, Nissan. Everybody has different things that they're offering that are solutions to how to move your butt from point A to point B faster than you would have walked. And then maybe you sell Ferrari. So your offering is Ferrari. And you say, ooh, what's different between a Ferrari than all the other things? So to become a Ferrari salesperson, let alone a Ferrari sales expert, you must know a little bit about the auto industry. You must know a little bit about what other vehicles are being sold and what are some of the specs and specifications and facts and measurements and weights and horsepower ratings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, reliability of, comparing other sports brands to Ferrari. And certainly you'd want to know what makes Ferrari awesome, right? You'd want to know. And having knowledge of last year's model ain't going to do it. You would want to know a little bit about Ferrari's history, why Ferrari exists. So would it make sense that if you have enthusiasm and knowledge and skill and talent, and you can communicate without always spitting all over the other person, if you have those basic function abilities, would it make sense if you wanted to be the top Ferrari salesperson, or at least the best Ferrari salesperson you could be, you would want to know a little bit about cars and about the industry and all that stuff, first of all, yeah? And you'd want to know a little bit about other cars so that you could compare when you're explaining it? Makes sense, doesn't it? Duh. And the more knowledge you have of the industry and the more knowledge you have of the options that are available in the industry and the more knowledge you have about Ferrari, the more powerfully, compellingly, certainly, clearly you're going to communicate and probably move more Ferraris. Yes? Yay, it's working. Okay, well now let's look at Purium. Okay, I'm going to ask another question. Let me check in. Who here, if you guys are willing to be honest, you've been super honest. Who here has applied that kind of a thought process to Purium so far? To a great extent. Okay, you guys are so awesome. Itty bits of yeses and a whole bunch of nopes and not me's. Yes, but I want to flow free. To some degree. See the need started. Okay, see, this kind of training is not normal. It's so implicit. It's so implicit that we just kind of assume it's just this duh buried around. And oh, yeah, well, we know that. But if we don't pull it out and make it explicit, we're really missing out. Okay, now here's one point right here. And Wayne just said, someone mentioned Organifi, a competitive company. Is there some chart or comparison somewhere about other companies? Okay, that is awesome. And can I repeat the bottom line of the Ferrari point? Okay, the bottom line of the Ferrari point is this. Would it be obvious And would it be true that the more you knew about the auto industry and the more you knew about all of the competitive sports car companies and the more you knew about your Ferrari history and products and horsepower ratings, etc., wouldn't you do better as a salesperson? The answer is like, duh, totally duh. All right. So couple people talking about comparison charts. That's getting in the area of what I'm talking about. So here's the deal. It would be great for us to have access to and for us to collaborate, those of us that have research inclinations, okay, who actually like to do that kind of stuff. We could have some conversations. We could create a small mastermind and actually make this a project for anybody that wants to be involved in doing it. It would be very, very worthwhile to have simple yet comprehensive training on the industry, on other companies and products, and obviously all of us diving into Purium. Going deep now. So check this out. Everybody breathe deep and don't let this skim across your consciousness. Let it get in. I found Purium. It found me, actually. And the first thing that I did when Davey brought up to me us doing this cleanse with Renita, the first thing I said was, you know what? I've been researching the top products in the world for the last 10 years. I am willing to look at this, but I have some tough questions to ask first. So we got on the phone with Sarah, and she blew my mind with the answers. And I said yes, based on that knowledge that I had. Not everybody does that. Some people just want to lose weight and, oh, that worked. Okay, I'm in. That's great. But what you want to have is you want to have about 1,000 times more knowledge than you're ever going to use. Now, I don't know if it was on this call. I do a whole lot of trainings in a whole lot of different realms, but I'm going to bring this up even if I did bring it up on an earlier call. There's something called the thud factor. And here's the way it works. So there was this guy who was selling $300,000 software to businesses. Everybody present? Checking in now. Okay, so I did bring it up. Okay, everybody's somewhat familiar then. So here's this. I'm going to sum it up then. I won't tell the story. Know about 10,000 times more about your topic than you'll ever need to use with any one person. Now that's intimidating. I'm not going to be able to do that today. Should I wait until I have it? No, start accumulating it today. And every time you speak to someone else, what you just learned is going to go into your knowledge. Who has ever, all right, I can tell the shortest possible version of, okay, a couple of people are asking here. All right, so here's the deal. This guy was selling $300,000 software packages to multi-billion-dollar corporations, and he had to get the entire, basically the whole council, you know, the board of directors to say yes. Now, do you think that it's possible, keep breathing, is it possible that selling a $300,000 software package might be tougher than selling a $200, $300 cleanse? Maybe, possibly, maybe he needed even more knowledge. I promise he did. Okay, so here's what he would do. When he was walking into the conference room, he would carry this 6-inch 3-ring binder, okay, the big one, full. And he would make sure everybody saw it, how heavy it was, that he was super obvious about it. And as they would walk to the conference table, walking in for the meeting where he's going to make his presentation, he would deliberately walk last and let everybody, he would walk a little slower and deliberately, really keeping the eyes on him and watching everyone sit down before he sat down. And once everyone was seated, he would misstep on his last step and boom, kind of drop the book, and it made this thud on the desk, and every eye in the room went to that book. And what did everybody in the room think? Whoa, we don't know that. He does. And his credibility and his compelling expert status went through the roof without saying a word. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that you just position him as an expert. I don't recommend that you necessarily carry a 6-inch 3-ring binder with you. You don't have to. However, I do recommend that you know more than you're ever going to have to use with any one person. Now, that doesn't mean when you sit down with someone, you tell them everything. That's not the point. That's not going to work. However, wouldn't you feel more confident sitting down with the next person if you knew 3 times more about the industry, the competition, and our products than you do now? Would that make a difference? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
So focusing there.
Hell yeah.
So focus in there. Focus in there. Now, what's some industry knowledge? Well, have you heard about GMOs? Yeah. You ever heard of Monsanto? Do you know about glyphosate? Do you know about its effects on the gut? Have you heard like 13 billion pounds a year being sprayed? Blah, 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 blah. Every little factoid that you can pick up. Go spend 15 minutes today, look up GMO research or GMOs in the news and read both sides of the argument. Read what the people advocating it. Don't see them as the enemy. See them as a phenomenal source of information. If you understand what they believe and why they think they're doing what they're doing, you're going to be in a whole different place to even communicate with them. As long as they're the enemy, you're in opposition, we ain't getting where we want to get. So look at both sides of the conversation. Research. Read Monsanto's position. Don't be scared of their website. Read what they say they're doing. Read what they believe and want to position themselves as. Read what they say about Roundup. Find out why. Now, this is yes and no. Yes and no. Learn the opposition. Don't have no opposition. Don't have any opposition. No opposition. Okay, and that's super valuable. Okay, this is important because it's easy to say, oh, well, then you know what, Sarah? We're not going to do business for the next 30 days. We're going to all go learn. That is not what I'm advocating whatsoever. I'm saying learn a little bit more before you talk to the next person. Learn a little bit more before you talk to the next person. Learn a little bit more. And even more powerful, learn a little bit from every person that you talk to. Learn a little bit from every conversation. Instead of going in thinking you're going in to get a yes, which puts you in opposition to the person you're presenting to and sharing with, go in with the purpose of having a good conversation and sharing and finding out if they're interested in finding out if this is something they want to act on. I just had an insight to share. When I was selling $30,000 to $100,000 systems myself, day after day. Now this is bragging. A minute ago that wasn't. This is bragging. I was closing 95+% of the people I sat down with. It's impossible. It's unheard of. It's ridiculous. Makes no sense. 20% is the norm in just about any field of sales. And I was closing 95% on one visit with $30,000 to $100,000 packages. And one of the reasons I was able to do that is I treated every sales presentation that I ever made, I treated it more as an interview of them, me interviewing them, way more than I viewed it as an opportunity to make a sale. And I almost always sold. So what if you were to literally make a reminder for yourself when you pick up the phone or when you go on a Facebook Live, or when you start the next conversation with the next person, what if you reminded yourself, wait a minute, I'm not going for a yes here. I don't need a yes. What if this person is a jerk? I'm not trying to get a yes. I don't know. They might just stink to play with. I don't know if I want a yes from this person. I want to find out if I want a yes from this person. What if you went in with that approach? You wouldn't feel the pressure of, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail. You can't fail if you're having an interview with the person. Now, see, I'm getting a lot of nods. Okay, I see the thoughtful, ooh, this would change everything. This will change everything. It does change everything. But you got to take this beyond hearing it today and having this be another fascinating call. That was great. Let me go back to my normal hell already in progress. You got to actually do something to get this in. Be curious about what's up with them. Interviewing people. And you will find, I promise you this, if you interview 3 people today about their interest in GMOs and pesticides and beyond organic nutrition, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, if you interview 3 people today, rather than trying to get 3 yeses, I'll make you a gazillion-dollar bet right now. Everybody shake in advance. Just kidding. You'll feel more confident and competent and capable and clear and certain the next person you sit down in front of. Yes or no? Interview 3 people today about it. And if you've watched the live streams that I've done, I mean, we went diamond in a month without working hard at all. And it was because I was constantly asking people, hey, you know about GMOs? Are you familiar? Have you seen GMOs revealed? Are you concerned? Find out they're interested first. And then only talk to people who are. Find out people that are interested. Help them be interested if they're not. And if they're not interested, don't take it personally. You're just interviewing them to find out if they're interested and if they're a fit for the products or if they're interested and they're a fit for the business. All right, we're down to minutes here. I'm going to start opening for questions, and I'm going to go a little tiny bit deeper into these 3 things. So learning the industry. What industry are you actually in? Do you have any idea? Have you stopped and backed up? Wait, what industry are we in here? What industry are we in? Okay, food, nutrition, health, expanded consciousness. Now, we're using a network model to share it, but I don't see Purium as a network marketing company. I see it as a state-of-the-art, social sharing, consciousness and health elevating company that woke up and started using an evolved model of network marketing to share the products. Just my way of looking at it. Okay, so that's a little bit about the industry we're in. People eat, almost everybody eats. And for people who want health and awakeness, and who understand that food can be information as opposed to calories, there's solutions. Now, in that industry, who else is claiming to have solutions? Who else is offering solutions? Herbalife and so many different companies. Arbonne, there's all these companies that are offering nutrition. Then there's essential oils and all these other things that are, yes, Garden of Life, Isogenics, thank you. All these other companies. Now, if you become a little bit aware of what they're offering, you become a little bit aware of what they're offering, not so you can shoot them down, so you can intelligently compare. Because it's really easy to start developing competitive knowledge and then, oh, I'm going to go shoot them down. That's not going to make you any friends or necessarily bring anybody to what you're doing. And then, third category, what do we have? What is it that makes Purium unique? What is it that makes this worth sharing in the first place? You do know that everybody who joins those other products hypnotizes themselves into believing that they have the best. You do know that, right? And they're all saying they have the best. Okay. I dare say a lot of us have hypnotized ourselves into believing that we have the best without taking the time and effort and energy to find out exactly how and why it is the best in the areas that it is. Now, that's not clarity. That's not certainty. And it's not going to be compelling when you say, yeah, ours is the best and everybody else. I mean, listen, you want to know the number one source of BS on the planet. Now, I checked. The number one source of BS on the planet is the network marketing industry, baby. Everything is next level, beyond. The next big thing, everything is. So we go out with that and we sound exactly like everybody else. That ain't the answer. Being able to say, let me show you that your stuff sucks in a loving, kind, and compelling way. If the products that you're taking that you're so excited about, my friend, if they did have toxins in them, would you want to know about it? If those products that you're taking had lower bioavailability, you're taking it to get the nutrition, right? You are taking it in order to get the benefit. You're not just taking it to take it. Oh, okay, good. I was just making sure. So if you're taking that product to get the nutrition, to get the benefit out of it, would it be worth it to you to know how much actual nutrition is in it and how much bioavailability you're actually, like how much of that's actually getting used by your body? And if there was a product that was comparable and superior on every metric available, would you want to know? So when you ask people those kind of questions, you have to have some expert knowledge in order to ask those questions and back it up. Wouldn't it be cool to go to bed tonight with knowledge of the 3 most unique characteristics and facts about Biomedic? How would that be? To go to bed tonight knowing the 3 most powerful aspects and areas of total uniqueness of Biomedic. Okay. How about this one? How many network marketing companies have, I would sleep really good. How many network marketing companies have green drinks? All of them, right? Oh yeah, you guys have one of those green drinks. Oh. Well, what if you could literally, now I'll confess today, I don't have this knowledge myself. I have a lot of knowledge today I didn't have 3 days ago, that I didn't have 5 days ago, that I didn't have 7 days ago. But what if you could literally sit down with the top 5 green drink powders and you could say, here's what's unique about Purium compared to all of them. This, and this. And you knew it beyond the shadow of a doubt, and you could communicate it clearly and simply without shooting those other products down. Would you feel more competent and confident about what you have in your hands if you had that knowledge? Wouldn't you? Oh my gosh. What is it about that kamut that makes it so freaking awesome? How about them aminos? Boy, there's a lot of protein stuff out there. What if you knew the 3 main features of exclusivity about our aminos, and you could compare it quickly? You'd probably feel different talking to athletes with that information, wouldn't you? And it's kind of a stinky place to say, well, you know, our stuff's better. Would you sign up, please? No, really, it's better. Sarah said so. And I heard Dave was saying that, like, he thought about this before he made it. You don't feel confident, clear, and you're not going to be compelling in expressing this. Okay, so I guess the last thing before I just go to total openness for questions here, and we'll only have a few minutes. When I found out about the products, first thing I did was I dove into product knowledge. Over the last 2 months, there hasn't been a day that I haven't learned something about either the industry, the competition, or our products. Not a day that I haven't learned something in each or all three of those areas. And the next live that I do is going to be about 10 times more effective than the previous ones that I did because of it. The next conversations I have will be infinitely more productive, and I'll be much more compelling because of focusing on acquiring knowledge in these 3 areas. And we can easily create a Google Doc that we share where we post these facts. Somebody who is organized, can step up and lead that, and we can all contribute to it. Okay, so I'm done. I see from the reaction, from the response so far, this has been helpful. Any questions that I can answer over the next few minutes that would help? Or that Sarah can answer, or anything else? Any questions?
I have one, Brian. So I mentioned a couple of times that Facebook has been a bit challenging for me, like my personal page. But I've been looking at creating a professional page to talk about superfoods, because I could be on a Facebook feed with stuff going all the time about what I'm learning, because I love to learn, and nobody wants to hear that on my personal page. So I don't know. I'm just looking for validation that I should do that.
Nobody wants to hear it. Okay, so it's your page, and you can say,
my personal page. My personal page.
On your personal page, you can say anything you want, and let the ones that don't want to hear it quit coming to your page. Don't even think or be concerned even remotely about what they think, because the ones who do want to hear it are going to come. Listen, this is like one of the foundational things. Don't care whatsoever about whether people like it or not. Let the ones who don't like it leave quickly, and let the ones who do come. And if you're concerned about whether they like it or not, that's where you're perceiving a challenge frankly you're making by being concerned about what they think. So just why care? You don't listen. If I'm doing a presentation on XYZ, I want everybody that's interested in QRS to leave in the first 2 or 3 minutes, so that those of us that are interested in XYZ can have a productive time together. Share and share and share, and don't even be concerned about that. Seriously. And you're going to find it's going to get real easy real fast. If you don't care, let the ones that are interested come to you.
Okay, thanks. That's great. That cleared a lot up for me. Thank you.
Instantly. You're welcome. Thank you. And absolutely, you can do it on a professional page as well. Okay, so what else? Any other questions? I have a, well, you know what? My client that I'm working with next is actually on this call. So, but that's right. And Sarah has a call coming up in just a minute as well. So we got about 2 minutes, you guys.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up? Hey, thank you. I want to thank you for being on here. I'm in actually Brian's living room right now. We had some of the team level 5 over here. And I wanted to just really appreciate you for bringing this through so clearly, and to share my experience, which is that I've been developing my own knowledge base, my own, and still it's just the tip of the iceberg. I know this much and there's this much more. And there's, I really wanted to bring in the role of the connect call right here. Yeah. The role of the upline, because there's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of confidence that comes from knowledge, and there's also great confidence that comes from witnessing how somebody shares that knowledge. So it's not just about how much you know. It's also about how gracefully and openly, and like Brian's talking about that interviewing process, how that comes into play. And so I really want to encourage you all, no matter where you are in your process, to commit to bringing people to your upline, because that's your training on the facts. You don't have to go and like dig through. Like I learned so much from Tracy and from my other upline by bringing people to them, and I learned knowledge and facts and information, and I also learned posture. I also got a transmission about how to hold this in such a way that the person that you're sharing it with isn't going, you're just throwing a bunch of facts at me and like, I need to dodge this and get the heck out of here. Right. Because if you are throwing the book at somebody, if you're thudding that book on the table when you walk up to your friend and you're like, duh, they're going to go, pew! Like they're just gonna they're gonna run away. So there's many layers of how we do what we do. And the very important piece is that you commit right now to taking enough time to develop on all these different levels, because it's not going to happen overnight. So a lot of people get frustrated. They get overwhelmed. They get discouraged. They're trying to learn it all themselves before they can talk to anybody about anything. And then they disappear. They give up before they've actually gotten to that place of effectiveness, right? Of being able. And so the tools are here for the interim time. But it's always, it's a whole continuum, and really to reach out and get that support and plug in, and not to feel like you need to stop your process to read 10 books about GMOs before you share with anybody. You just need to share your enthusiasm and your confidence with somebody, and then get information to them that's not coming from your brain. It's coming from other places. So thank you so much, Brian. I really love and appreciate you so much. And I have to use this line. And I know Brian has a client right now, so we're going to have to close it up. But yeah, there's Gnome's recorded Zooms are awesome for product information and knowledge. Dave Sandoval has in the resources page in the back office, every single recorded call that Dave has ever done on a Wednesday, they're all in there. So if you want to get more in-depth product knowledge in half-an-hour increments by listening to Dave Sandoval talk about stuff, go in there. Those are the knowledge base. On your back office, there's a little circle with a book in it. You can go in there, and almost every question that you have has answers. So there's lots of ways to get this information. Yeah, and Dave is a badass. That's faux show. And tonight we're going to be doing a presentation with Dave, Amy, and myself here on the Big Island, and we will be live streaming that. That's going to be at 5:30 Hawaii time. So make sure that you guys tune in to the live stream. We'll live stream it into Bliss, and you can watch that there, and you can get more touch points with Amy, with Dave, with myself, and with a lot of other people that will be sharing. So.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Aloha, everyone. Brian. Love you guys. Aloha.
Aloha.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Brian. That was awesome.
Dang.
Thank you. Thank you. That was awesome. Awesome. So amazing. You're so great. Your presentation.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you very much.
You guys.
That was awesome. Really appreciate it.
Can you say your last name again? Brian
Ridgeway.
Wrigley?
Ridgeway.
Okay, thank you.
All right. See you guys soon.
Thanks.
Thank you.